The Baltic states, such as Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, have taken the most far-reaching steps to limit the movement of Russians, suspended the issuance of almost all types of visas for the Russian citizens. The head of the Chancellor of the Prime Minister, Michał Dworczyk, says that the countries that have experienced Russian imperialism in their history are determined to support Ukraine by imposing further sanctions on the Kremlin. However, there are indeed some countries, you mentioned Germany, you can add Italy here, and other countries, which have been running very well-functioning business projects for years. Therefore, they are against the imposition of further sanctions. Only a decisive stance and a decisive action can stop the Russians. Countries such as Finland, Denmark, Sweden, and the Czech Republic want a debate on this topic at the Forum of the European Council. Only unanimous decisions in the European Union will bring results. The Baltic states, despite the imposition of restrictions, are also transit states of the Schengen area, which is why Russians can travel through these states. Warsaw is actively lobbying Western countries to convince them to adopt similar solutions. We have cut the number of visas issued by 80% and are calling for further restrictions on the EU forum, as we believe that this is one way to put pressure on the authorities of the Russian Federation. Several dozen MEPs are calling for concrete decisions to be taken at the next meeting of the heads of diplomacy of the European Union. They want to ban the issuing of tourist visas to Russians and impose sanctions on all 6,000 Putin's allies on Navalny's list. Polish MEPs also signed the appeal. The Polish left wants to sanction other Russian oligarchs, especially their families. For this comfort to end, to not make a fortune from crime in Russia, while your children, your family live comfortably, whether in the EU or in London. The June research conducted in Russia shows that as many as 83% of Russians accept and support the actions of Vladimir Putin. In addition, this support increased by 1% compared to the May survey. The research was carried out by the Levada Research Center, independent of the Kremlin. There is enormous public support for this war, and at the same time, the Russian mob that is there in Ukraine, killing, raping, and murdering. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is not just Putin's war. Narration about the so-called Putin's war is often raised by Germany, especially Chancellor Olaf Scholz, who is opposed to imposing restrictions on movement across Europe for Russian citizens. Blowing all responsibility for the war on Putin is false, explains Professor Waldemar Gontarski. It is like saying that it was not Germany that invaded Poland in 1939, and not the Soviet Union, but Hitler and Stalin. Absurdity, some kind of schizophrenia, lack of the ability to think logically. Gontarski adds that Putin himself did not receive power in the Kremlin. Why did they not take to the streets? Why did they not remove him from the Kremlin? What are we talking about? Another issue is compliance with sanctions by the states of the Union. The wife of Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov had fun in Greece to the sounds of Zorba. She bragged about it on social media. Tightening sanctions for all Russian citizens would require that they would have to get to places like, for example, Peskov's wife, by an even more detoured route than they get now. The idea in sanctions is to make these circumventions as difficult as possible. The introduction of a travel ban for Russians may also have a psychological effect and worsen the current mood of citizens who, due to the Kremlin's propaganda, are not fully aware of Russian crimes against innocent Ukrainian citizens.